In recent times, the Russian Federation's military has faced a series of significant operational setbacks. Ukrainian forces successfully reclaimed a key island in the Black Sea, while Russia's much-anticipated summer offensive has stalled, resulting in a loss of ground in the Sumy Oblast. However, a recent development in the intelligence domain may prove to be of far greater strategic consequence. In a meticulously executed intelligence operation, Ukraine has compromised one of Russia's most advanced and secretive military assets, revealing critical data to the international community. At approximately 9 a.m. on August 2025, reports began to circulate, later confirmed by Business Insider, regarding a major intelligence failure within the Russian Navy. Ukraine's main Directorate of Intelligence, commonly known as HUR, announced it had successfully exfiltrated a comprehensive cache of classified documents pertaining to Russia's newest nuclear ballistic missile submarine, the Knyaz Pozharsky. This vessel is not a legacy platform. It is the latest of the Project 955A Borei-class submarines, representing the pinnacle of Russia's undersea strategic deterrent. As a frontline strategic asset, it was presumed to be operating under the highest levels of security protocol. The HUR has, for operational security reasons, declined to specify the methods used to acquire the documents. The tactical possibilities suggest two primary scenarios: the successful insertion of a deep cover operative within the Russian Navy's Northern Fleet infrastructure, or, perhaps more plausibly, the successful recruitment of a key individual or group of individuals among the submarine's crew or support staff. Revealing further details could directly compromise the human intelligence assets responsible for this significant breach. To substantiate their claims and eliminate any doubt about the authenticity of the intelligence, the HUR took the unprecedented step of publishing a selection of the documents. At 11:30 a.m., 10 pages of classified Russian naval documentation appeared on the agency's official Telegram channel, making them available for public scrutiny. This act served a dual purpose. It validated the success of the operation to international partners and served as a direct message to the Kremlin, demonstrating a profound vulnerability within its most sensitive military programs. The contents of the leaked documents provide a granular, multi-layered view into the operations and construction of the Knyaz Pozharsky. Analysis of the released data, supplemented by reporting from RBC Ukraine, reveals the scope of the intelligence acquired. Firstly, the HUR is now in possession of the complete crew manifest. This is not merely a list of names. The data includes detailed personnel files covering ranks, assigned positions, technical qualifications, service records, and even physical fitness assessments. This level of detail provides an invaluable resource for further intelligence operations, enabling the potential targeting of individuals for recruitment, coercion, or psychological operations. It lays bare the human element of Russia's strategic submarine force, outlining the specific skill sets and profiles the Russian Navy prioritizes for its most critical assets. Secondly, the document cache includes highly sensitive operational materials. Among these are the submarine's combat instructions and deployment schedules for the coming months. This effectively strips the Knyaz Pozharsky of its primary strategic advantage, unpredictability. Knowledge of its intended patrol routes and mission objectives allows for its movements to be anticipated and potentially countered by NATO and allied anti-submarine warfare assets. Furthermore, the technical documentation obtained is of immense value. It includes detailed schematics and construction documents for the Borei-class. Critically, this data encompasses the submarine's survivability systems, the design features intended to protect it from attack and mitigate damage. By studying these systems, Ukrainian and Western analysts can identify inherent design limitations and structural weaknesses, information that is crucial for developing effective targeting solutions and ASW tactics specifically tailored to defeat this class of submarine. The leak also extends to the vessel's standard operating procedures, SOPs. These procedural documents detail routine but vital tasks, such as at-sea cargo transfers, emergency medical protocols for wounded crew members, and damage control control operations. Understanding these procedures allows for the prediction of the crew's response in various scenarios. Included in the miscellaneous reports was a detailed engineering study concerning a deformed radio buoy, suggesting the HUR now has insight into ongoing technical and maintenance challenges affecting the vessel. Finally, extracts from the submarine's daily schedule book reveal the tempo of life and work aboard the vessel, completing a comprehensive picture of the asset from the macro-strategic level down to the micro-tactical. Prior to this breach, public knowledge of the Knyaz Pozharsky was limited to information officially released by the Russian Ministry of Defense. It was known to be a cornerstone of Russia's nuclear triad, equipped with 16 launch silos for the ER-30 Bulava, 30 submarine-launched intercontinental ballistic missile (SLBM). Each Bulava missile is capable of carrying up to 10 multiple independently targetable re-entry vehicles (MARVs), giving the submarine a theoretical payload of up to 160 nuclear warheads. The vessel is assigned to the 31st Submarine Division of the Northern Fleet, home-ported in the Murmansk region. Its formal acceptance into combat duty was a high-profile event, personally overseen by President Vladimir Putin on July 24, 2025. It took Ukrainian intelligence less than 2 weeks to fundamentally compromise this new strategic asset. The information released by Russia was designed to project strength and deterrence. The information released by Ukraine provides a roadmap for how to dismantle that deterrence. The strategic implications of this leak are profound, beginning with the degradation of the fundamental purpose of a submarine, stealth. As noted by analysts at the University of New South Wales in a 2021 report on submarine acquisitions, the value of these platforms lies in there to operate undetected. They are instruments of naval reconnaissance, intelligence gathering, and, in the case of a ballistic missile submarine, a survivable second strike capability. Conflict analyst Paul Warburg elaborates on this point in his assessment of the leak. The entire operational doctrine of submarine warfare is predicated on secrecy. Without the element of surprise and the ambiguity of its location, a strategic submarine loses its primary deterrent effect and becomes functionally closer to a surface combatant. A surface vessel is observable via satellite, radar, and aerial reconnaissance. Its position can be tracked, its intentions predicted, and its defenses countered. A submerged SSBN, by contrast, leverages the opacity of the ocean to remain a persistent, untraceable threat. The fear of a potential nuclear launch from an unknown vector is a powerful tool of statecraft. With the leak of the Knyaz Pozharsky's operational plans, this fear is replaced by actionable intelligence. The monster, as Warburg describes it, has been revealed. The world now possesses detailed knowledge of not just one vessel, but of the entire Borei-class, Russia's most modern SSBN design. While the submarine's weapon systems remain lethal, its operational effectiveness has been severely blunted. This intelligence failure forces an immediate and difficult response from the Russian Ministry of Defense. The most pressing concern is the vessel's vulnerability to direct action. Ukraine's capacity for asymmetric naval warfare is well documented. Throughout the conflict, it has successfully used naval drones and long-range missiles to destroy or damage approximately 1/3 of Russia's Black Sea fleet. While those engagements occurred in waters relatively close to Ukraine, recent operations against Russia's shadow fleet of oil tankers demonstrate a global reach. As reported by Euromaidan Press, Ukrainian Special Operations Forces have conducted successful sabotage missions far from the primary conflict zone, such as the attack that disabled the tanker Eco-Wizard at the Russian port of Ust-Luga. A similar sabotage operation against the Knyaz Pozharsky, either in port or at sea, is now a credible threat, particularly given the strong possibility of an inside Confederate. This leads to the second major problem for Russia: the compromised crew. The method of the leak points directly to a human factor. As Warburg notes, the fact that nuclear submarine systems have been specifically infiltrated means an adversary could be active within this component of the Russian military. This infiltration likely stems from systemic corruption. Reports from organizations like the Jamestown Foundation and the Center for European Policy Analysis, CEPA, have extensively documented endemic corruption within the Russian military, from procurement kickbacks, accounting for nearly 40% of the budget, to frontline soldiers paying bribes of up to 3 million rubles to be rotated out of combat zones. Given this environment, it is highly plausible that HUR did not need to insert its own operative, but rather identified and paid a compromised member or members of the Knyaz Pozharsky's crew. With the entire crew list exposed and the high probability of a traitor on board, the submarine is a compromised asset. In any competent military, Warburg states, losing this level of information would necessitate docking the submarine until further notice. When the enemy has the entire crew list, they have a roster of individuals to approach, bribe, or otherwise motivate to sabotage their own vessel. The only prudent course of action for the Kremlin is to take the Knyaz Pozharsky offline, conduct a thorough counterintelligence investigation, and replace the entire crew, a process that would sideline a brand new, multi-billion-dollar strategic asset for a considerable period. This incident does not exist in a vacuum. It is the latest in a series of blows to Russia's nuclear triad over the past year. In late July 2025, a tsunami struck the Kamchatka Peninsula, with satellite imagery confirming damage to the Vylyuchinsk submarine base, a key home port for nuclear submarines. In June, Ukraine's Operation Spiderweb saw long-range drones strike 4 strategic air bases deep inside Russia, reportedly destroying or damaging a significant portion of the strategic bomber fleet capable of delivering nuclear payloads. The land-based leg of the triad has also shown signs of weakness. In September 2024, satellite imagery published by CNN confirmed the catastrophic failure of a test launch of the new Sarmat ICBM. This was followed in May 2025 by another failed ground-based test, this time of an RS-24 Yars ICBM. Viewed collectively, these events paint a picture of a nuclear deterrent force facing significant reliability, security, and operational challenges. The compromise of the Knyaz Pozharsky is not merely an intelligence embarrassment. It is a tactical event with strategic consequences, further eroding the credibility of Russia's power projection at a time when its conventional forces are under immense strain. Russia's strategic ambiguity has been diminished, its vulnerabilities laid bare for the world to see.